Hello second years, welcome back. So the topic that we're going to look at today first is the midpoint formula. So before I even look at the formula, I want to take a look back at our diagram from yesterday of the different points on the Cartesian plane and talk about what midpoint might mean. So midpoint, mid means halfway. We're looking for the halfway point between any other 2 points. Let's look at what that might look like if I take the points from yesterday, A and F, and I draw a line joining those together. And you might do this on your own diagram as well when you get the chance, and take a look at what that looks like. So where's the halfway point here? Well, I can measure it and have an idea. It's kind of roughly here. It may not be an exact point. It may be halfway through a box, okay? We may get decimal answers when we do midpoint. But it looks like, from my diagram, it looks like the midpoint of the line segment A to F is the point -1, -1. Okay, are we sure? It's something to think about. Are we sure? Even if we are, it's not really that convenient to go around drawing lines and then working out what the midpoint is. Oh, my green pen seems to be spraying ink everywhere today. Okay, it looks like the midpoint of A to C. And I hope that you realize that A to C is the same as C to A. So it doesn't matter which direction we go. Or the halfway point is always going to be the same. It looks like that is 0, 1 1/2, or is it 1 1/3, or is it 1 4/5? And that's where things start to get a little bit complicated when we're trying to use our diagram to find midpoints. So we can do it using the diagram, but of course that's not always the most convenient way of doing it. So what we have is a formula. This. The midpoint formula says that the midpoint, the halfway point, of a line segment joining the point A, which is x1, y1, joining A, x1, y1, and B, x2, y2, is given by, you don't have to write down all of these words. We'll call it P for point. There's a reason I don't want to use M, and I'll explain later. It's going to be coordinates, right? It's going to be an x value and a y value. x1 plus x2 divided by 2, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. Now hopefully you can see there that what that actually is the average of the x values and the average of the y values. And that's how we calculate midpoint. So what we just did on the diagram, we're now going to do by formula. We're going to find the midpoint of AF and AC if A is the point 2, 1. C is the point -2, 2. And F is the point -4, -3. And that's the diagram for those points is in your notes from yesterday. Okay, so let's answer this then. Well, for part 1, we'll write down our points, 2, 1 and -4, 3. We'll label our points, x1, y1. You can't get this wrong. It doesn't matter which order you do it in. But just remember, every point has an x and a y and the same number. Don't be doing x1, y2, y1, y2, okay? An x and a y in each point. My formula then is that the midpoint is the average of my x values for the x coordinate and the average of my y values for the y coordinate. And filling in, my point is going to be x1 plus x2. Now when I add a negative number, a plus minus will give me a minus. 2 minus 4 over 2. y1 plus y2, 1 plus 3 over 2. And you can just type each of those into your calculator, or do it without the calculator, do it in your head, do it in 2 steps. -2 over 2, 4 over 2, and yes, simplify that down to -1, 2. And that is the answer. -1, 2. So let's look. I can see why I got the wrong answer. So back here we said it looked like -1, -1, but I wrote down the wrong value here. Sorry, guys. So this was a mistake on my behalf. And hopefully you've watched the video first before writing anything down, because I've made a mistake here. I forgot my -3. So let me just do this step over again. And we have that my midpoint should be 2 minus 4 over 2 and 1 minus 3 over 2, giving me -2 over 2, -2 over 2, and that is -1, -1. Right, so that was just a case of me writing down the wrong information when I wrote the example. That was the mistake. -1, -1, which indeed matches the diagram that we had from yesterday. So doing it by diagram. But it's much quicker to do it using the formula, unless you're asked to do it on a diagram, which can happen as well, of course. Okay, let's do the second two. And we said that the midpoint of AC looked like 0, 1.5. So let's find out. A is 2, 1, and C is -2, 2. So my midpoint formula, first few times you do this, now write it down every time. x1 plus x2 over 2, the average of the x values. y1 plus y2 over 2, the average of the y values. And filling in, we get 2 minus 2 over 2. I should label them x1, y1, x2, y2. 2 minus 2 over 2. 1 plus 2 over 2. And that gives me 0 over 2, 3 over 2. And when we simplify that, you can use your calculator to do that, we get 0, 1.5, which was exactly what the diagram told us it would be as well. Okay, now I'm actually going to stop there for today. I was thinking about doing another one, but I think this first week back, there's going to be a lot on your plate, so we'll just ease into it slowly. I'm going to see you hopefully on Wednesday, but I'll follow up with email and we'll talk about that as well. So tonight for homework, I just want you to do some practice with the midpoint formula, and that is on page 277, question 2 only. Okay, thank you very much, and of course let me know if you have any questions or comments. We're looking forward to hearing any feedback that you have, and we'll talk soon. Okay, thank you.